Hello, I am your Rusame reader, Crowsong, and today I will be reading to you from Royal Guard by Miria Wright. Now, on to chapter 27, Happily Ever After. As the days flew by, both males avoided each other like the plague, hardly even sparing a glance at each other. At first, it was Russia who stopped accompanying America, but after a while, he did start going back to doing his job, though the two of each other never started a conversation with each other. Eventually, Russia did hear about the wedding being scheduled in 2 weeks, but said nothing about it, keeping a thick face. Mexico, Ukraine, and Belarus heard about the rejection and were there to comfort him, but nothing really helped the bitter feeling inside. But they did help him bring himself to go back to his duties again. When the three of them happened to pass the American prince, they'd always give him a sideways glance. Not in anger or anything, just pity. On the day of the wedding, the weather was so nice it was almost insulting. As the two royals sat in the carriage waiting to be taken to the castle, they rolled down the town streets where the townspeople threw flowers and rejoiced at this exciting day. The two, Prince and Princess, looked out of the carriage window with indescribable emotions. Well, mostly Japan. America looked just plain sad. He watched the scenery change with his chin rested on his palm. Both of them were groomed to look their best on this special day. Japan was donned in beautiful jewelry, her hair styled into a marriage hairstyle for Japanese people. She wore a beautiful snow-white kimono, and there was a white hairpiece as well. America was using something similar to his usual outfit, but more fancy. Golden engravings on the white outfit, his hair was styled in a little more neatly way than usual, but nothing too different. Once they reached their destination, they would immediately commence the ceremony, no takebacks. Dread filled the American's heart as Japan glanced over. "What, not enjoying the ride?" she asked despite for herself. America answered without sparing her a glance. "Why in the world would I enjoy it? You're not enjoying it either, are you?" Japan had a shocked expression on her face, but only for a split second before composing herself once again. "I'm guessing you already have someone you like, then?" America answered without a moment of pause. "I mean, so do you." Japan chuckled. She tore her gaze away and back to the crowd. Even if her expression wasn't readable to most, it was to America due to them knowing each other for such a long time. "Actually, the truth is that they already confessed to me," America added. "Oh, is that so? Then why are we here right now? If I remember correctly, the marriage was moved to an earlier date because you requested it, no?" "I rejected them." "And why in the world would you do that? Shouldn't you be ecstatic?" She spoke calmly. They both spoke in calm tones. "I'm worried. Society always blames the less significant figure in an argument, always curses them to die, and even when they're brave enough to personally murder them themselves. Well, the point is, I don't want them to get hurt, since not many people are more significant than a literal prince, even if I have to hurt myself to do it. So, I'm guessing they're not royalty?" "No." "Well, in my honest opinion, since they had the guts to confess you first, I'm sure they're fully aware of the consequences of their actions. You say you're trying to protect them. That's a very admirable thing to do, even if it hurts yourself. But what exactly do you think they are going to do after you reject them? Move on? I'm sure, since they're even willing to break the laws just to be with you, that their love isn't something they can simply move on from that easily. Japan sighed before continuing. I think what you did would hurt them more than protect them. After all, emotional pain hurts much worse than physical pain, no doubt. So why torture both of you? I say be together and go through everything together. If your love for them is as deep as their love for you, I'm sure you'd be able to overcome any challenges regarding it in your future time. She concluded with a smile. America sat there, stunned for a second from her words. He thought that by doing what he did would protect the other, but it was the opposite. After all, no choice in the world doesn't hurt someone or another. I'm sorry, I have to go, he said out of nowhere. Go ahead. They were already outside the gates of town, riding up the path toward the palace. There weren't any townspeople in that area, fortunately. As America forced the carriage door open, he was about to jump out. Japan added something. Best of luck. America gave her a slanted grin. You too. After that, he jumped out and immediately sprinted for the palace walls. When he saw a familiar hollow tree, his face lit up. Indeed, it was the hollow tree that carried their cloaks when they wanted to escape the palace. He climbed the wall with ease and jumped down, scanning the area to search for Russia. He ran around searching. That's when he saw Ukraine standing outside the kitchen. Ukraine! He called out to her. Why are you here, Prince America? The wedding ceremony is the other way. No, I wanted to ask you if you knew where Russia is, America said, slightly out of breath. Ukraine's face seemed to light up a little. He's by the water fountain. Without a second to spare, America ran over to the water fountain. A familiar scene played out right before his eyes. Russia stood there with his back facing towards the American and his scabbard by his waist. Hearing the crunching of grass behind him, he turned around. Forgive me for not being at the ceremony. I couldn't bring myself to watch. Shut up for a second, America blurted out as sweat slid down his face. What? Russia's eyes widened a little, thinking he heard wrong. That means I love you too. Russia walked up to the prince where they stood right in front of each other. I hope you haven't moved on yet. The splashes of water were abnormally loud amid the tranquil silence that filled the air. Never, Russia said as he pulled America with one open arm. America hooked his arms around the other's neck. They filled the gap between them with a kiss. Truly, a happily ever after. And that is the end of this chapter. We have one more chapter left. But that'll be tomorrow. I hope you'll join us on the Discord. The link is down in the description below. I hope you have a nice day, night, afternoon, morning, or whatever it is. I'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, it's a beautiful day out there.